Once upon a time, video games looked more like movies than games. Real actors, real drama, and really weird design choices. This was the FMV era, a time when gaming tried to be Hollywood. It died fast, but somehow it's making a comeback.
Is there anything I can do to help?
In the early 1990s, video games were changing fast. For the first time, developers had something new, the CD-ROM. It could store hundreds of megabytes of data, which back then felt limitless. And with all that space, someone had a wild idea. What if games looked like movies?
Your parents are gone, and you say so? Come on, Sarah, what's the first thing you think of? Party!
Thus began the age of full-motion video games, or FMVs. Instead of animated characters, these games used real actors filmed on set. The goal was simple: make you feel like you were inside a movie. You didn't just control a hero, you became part of the story.
Hello? Is there somebody there?
In 1993, The Seventh Guest blew people's minds. It wasn't just a game, it was a glimpse into the future. A haunting puzzle adventure that looked real, sounded real, and came on this shiny new disc that everyone wanted. Then came Night Trap, a cheesy horror game that became infamous for all the wrong reasons. Bad acting? Absolutely. But at the time, it was revolutionary. It made players feel like they were directing a live-action movie. It was interactive cinema, years before the term even existed. By the mid-90s, studios were all in. Games like Phantasmagoria pushed FMV to its limits, with huge budgets, elaborate sets, and hours of filmed footage. For a moment, it felt like FMV was the future of gaming, the bridge between Hollywood and the controller. Everyone thought this was the next evolution, that soon all games would look like movies. But they were wrong. The dream didn't last long. But the bigger the hype, the harder the fall. By the mid-90s, the FMV dream started to crack. For all their ambition, these games had one fatal flaw: they weren't fun to play. Most FMVs were little more than interactive movies. You didn't explore, you didn't fight, you just clicked a button and watched the next clip play. Once the novelty faded, players started to see through the illusion. The acting was awkward, the writing was wooden, and the gameplay was, well, barely gameplay at all. What started as high-tech innovation quickly turned into a bit of a joke. FMV became that weird cousin of gaming, fun to look back on, but not something you actually played. Even worse, the controversy around Night Trap brought politicians into the conversation. It was accused of being too violent, which sounds ridiculous now, but it helped create the ESRB rating system. Instead of helping FMV, the controversy buried it deeper.
Come on, Sarah, what's the first thing you think of? Party!
And as technology evolved, FMV couldn't keep up. Real-time 3D graphics became the new gold rush. Games like Doom, Resident Evil, and Tomb Raider showed what was truly possible. Why watch a movie when you could play one? By the end of the decade, FMV was finished. Publishers stopped funding them, studios closed, and the genre quietly faded into obscurity. And for years, FMV was remembered as a failed experiment, a relic of the past, a strange, ambitious moment when gaming tried to become Hollywood and paid the price.
Let's go for a swim.
But years later, something unexpected happened. A new generation of storytellers found inspiration in the ruins, and somehow, FMV came back. For nearly 2 decades, FMV was gone. A strange footnote in gaming history, remembered mostly for its awkward acting and ambitious failures. But in 2015, something changed. A small indie title called Her Story quietly revived the idea. It wasn't flashy or expensive, just a woman being questioned in front of a camera. But the genius was in how you played it. You searched for clues, pieced together a mystery, and discovered the story yourself. It wasn't about watching a movie, it was about investigating one. Her Story proved that FMV didn't need big budgets or cheesy acting. It needed purpose, a reason for the player to feel like part of something real.
Just that. Stories.
Its creator, Sam Barlow, pushed the idea further with Telling Lies, where you sift through hours of video calls to uncover hidden connections. Suddenly, FMV wasn't a gimmick anymore. It was storytelling. Immersive, emotional, human. More studios followed. Late Shift, The Complex, Erica all brought cinematic storytelling back, this time with real choices and branching paths. And audiences loved it.
I'm going.
Why are you following me?
Let me go.
Then in 2022, Immortality took it to another level. A haunting, non-linear story about lost films, hidden meanings, and obsession. It wasn't just a comeback, it was art. The kind of game that blurred the line between cinema and interactivity completely.
Did we get it right?
FMV had done what few genres ever could. It reinvented itself. What once felt outdated had become cutting-edge again, powered by creativity, technology, and a deep love for storytelling. Maybe FMV was never really dead. Maybe it was just waiting for the right time, and the right storytellers to bring it back.
Someone so young.
All I can ask is that you trust me. I will deliver.
We need to get you on the scene immediately.
See? How? Nothing leaves or enters the lab without us knowing about it.
FMV Games began as a dream to merge cinema and gameplay into one seamless experience. They stumbled, they failed, and for years they were forgotten. But every great idea deserves a second chance. And when the world was finally ready, when technology and storytelling caught up, FMV found its way back.
Each other. Just that. Stories.
Today, it's no longer about copying Hollywood, it's about exploring stories that only games can tell. Intimate, interactive, personal. Maybe FMV wasn't a failure after all. Maybe it was ahead of its time. So the next time you play a game that feels like a movie, remember, it all started here, in the strange and beautiful world of full-motion video.
Sarah, we're in this huge house with all your friends. We have telephones, we have a car, your parents are gone.
FMV games were never just about live actors or flashy technology. They were an experiment, a glimpse into what happens when film and game worlds collide. Back then, they were too ambitious, too ahead of their time. Players wanted control, not cinema. Developers wanted art, not just fun. And somewhere in between, the genre faded away, forgotten by most. But stories don't stay buried forever. Decades later, when the world finally caught up, when streaming, narrative design, and interactive storytelling became the new frontier, FMV quietly returned. Not as a gimmick this time, but as a medium that finally made sense. It's a reminder that creativity doesn't die when it fails. It just waits for the world to be ready for it. Thanks for watching. And if you love rediscovering the forgotten stories that shaped gaming, you'll feel right at home here.